up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am Nick here with Ryan.
Yo.
Ryan, have you ever heard of the name Simon and Garfunkel?
Garfunkel sounds familiar.
Garfield, is that why?
I think so. I think
You kind of look like Garfield right now.
How did I know?
Simon and Garfunkel were an American folk rock duo consisting of singer-songwriter Paul Simon and singer Art Garfunkel.
It's funny you said, that's funny you say Paul Simon. That's literally the first name I thought of when you said Simon.
Oh, yeah.
So,
what about Simon Says?
yeah.
Did you ever play that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was
terrible at it. Yeah, I was terrible.
I'd be like, the coin.
I could probably last maybe, 4 or 5 Simon Says and I'm done.
Yeah. Was that, and that really wasn't really our generation. That was more a lot of you guys.
Yep.
But hey, we still had it though.
Yeah, that's right.
It was fun. They rank as one of the best-selling music acts of the 1960s. They met in elementary school in Queens, New York City in 1953.
Queens, baby.
Where they learned to harmonize and began writing songs. They actually went by the name Tom and Jerry early on. One of the goats.
Yep.
So their debut album was initially a flop, and they even split for a brief period of time afterward. And then they reunited for the second album, and then they just got hot. They really didn't get along, Ryan. Really weren't too fond of each other. They broke up in 1970. Both had solo careers afterward. They are among the best-selling music artists, having sold more than 100 million records. And that's just with 5 albums.
Jesus.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You knew that we had to start with this song, The Sound of Silence. This could be one that you've heard. I don't know about the whole thing, but yeah, it's pretty popular. I've definitely heard this song. I mean, I don't live under a rock or anything like that. Paul Simon took 6 months to write the lyrics, which are about man's lack of communication with his fellow man. The song was released on the debut album. It was initially The Sounds of Silence. Unbeknownst to the two, the song had perked a few ears and was seeing a fair amount of airplay in certain regions. The song's producer, Tom Wilson, decided to rearrange it, adding drums and electric guitars to round out the original acoustics, and then in 1965, they re-released it, and it became The Sound of Silence. The new and improved tune was an immediate success, becoming international #1 and leading to the regrouping of Simon and Garfunkel. So if not for this producer, Tom Wilson, they may have not ever got back together. Who knows?
That is crazy.
That's how life works. So here's the deal. I like the original version better. So that's what we're going with. I'm just going to call it The Sound of Silence because that just seems to be the more popular verbiage. Pop culture, this is everywhere. That's why I think it might be familiar. It's alluded to in several genres of music, and it's also kind of became a meme in some way on the internet. It's been covered by many artists. This song is in the Library of Congress that Ty always talks about. It's on the debut album, Wednesday Morning, 3 a.m., released in 1964.
Specific on the time.
Did you ever have any certain scenarios happen Wednesday morning at 3 a.m., Ryan? Anything of value? Anything that you can say on here? No? All right. Well,
I don't think so.
I guess not. I just thought maybe somebody else that was specific to, but maybe not. Initially, it was a flop, but it since has gone platinum. So this is a song that just has to be on the channel, y'all. Simon and Garfunkel, The Sound of Silence.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed the wells of silence. The people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls, tenement halls, whispered the sounds of silence.
Did that sound familiar at all?
It did a little bit. I think it was the rhythm that they had going. I feel like I just heard it. It sounded like some people on a journey.
Oh,
and like
okay.
you know how those old movies they got, like, you know, they're on the horses and they're traveling. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Sounds like a song they would play in the background while they're
so you're kind of envisioning like a like some type of what do they call it? Some type of montage, like two people, you know, going through the mountains on horseback or something like that.
Because they're traveling, they got like a destination they're trying to travel to. And
okay.
It sounds like one of those songs.
Okay. So what's your first impression? That was the first time you ever heard that?
That was like probably one of the shortest songs I can remember. It went by so fast.
It's not that short. It's 3 minutes. But, you know, I didn't pause it either. You can't pause that song. It just builds too much.
Well, I also noticed, you know, there's no chorus.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, it was just straight like.
It was strange. Hey, be honest here, man. We want to hear it. We want to hear it first time ever.
I don't know. It's just like, so obviously are they storytelling, I guess, a little bit?
Yes, yeah.
And the thing is, who's higher and who's lower?
Something I really like is how in the mix, one's over here, one's over here.
Right.
You know, you would assume that would be something like that happens a lot, but honestly, like we don't really get that in the headphones as much as you would think.
Because we always mention it whenever anything goes through the headphones on different sides.
So it makes them very equal, which I think is really cool. So it's Garfunkel on the left. He's the high.
Ah, okay.
And then Simon is on this side.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you've heard his voice before.
Yeah.
But they're definitely very, very contrasting, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Garfunkel, to me, like, nobody really sounds like him. Like,
No.
he's just got some sort of, like, airiness. It's just like an air like no other. Like, he's kind of got, like, a quiver to them. He's got a quiver to him. You know, there's just something kind of spiritual about his voice. And then Paul Simon is just more more casual, more chill. Mm-hmm. I think it has a great soundscape for being like having no drums. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just two guys singing and a guitar.
Yeah.
And like the fact that like it is such a cool soundscape, it's like how? It's like so bare bones. But I think what helps though is like there's a real echo on this as well. It sounds like they recorded it in the world's longest hallway.
Oh.
Which is I don't know. That's a compliment though.
Yeah.
Is there any like line or anything that kind of capture you at all?
So you said it was about so say it again. What'd you say it was going to be about again?
People not being able to communicate with each other.
So I think that's kind of funny how you say that, because maybe that's probably what Simon and Garfunkel went through. I don't think it's a coincidence that he says that, and then they make this song is because it's about probably what they went through.
First
probably
album. This is the first album. You're saying they hated each other from the start?
I mean, he said they didn't have a great relationship.
Just never liked each other. We just
Yep. Hey, a lot of people do say though, like when it comes to like business, a lot of people do not like each other, but they do things because they know it's gonna make them money.
Right.
So they make things together just because they know it works.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not saying this is the case,
right?
But
right,
I'm just saying it's kind of funny how you said they broke up at one point, you know, and then they make a song about probably what really happened, but they made it into a song, but you really don't know it's really about them.
So you're saying like even though he says it's about this, really there could be some more underlying issues, you know, that just kind of comes out when you're writing the song.
Well, I just feel like any group that we've done, I feel like any group that's always been out there, there's always been, you know, controversy. Something always happens in groups. Yeah. I feel like it's any group you're in, because everybody's gonna have a different opinion about something.
Yeah.
So eventually you're gonna come across things that's not gonna work out, and you're not gonna agree on everything. Especially when it's just two people. So when you both don't agree something, there ain't nobody else to come in and be like, oh no, blah blah blah. No, if y'all don't agree, it's over. There ain't no other anybody else to be the middleman. You know, if you think you're right and you think you're right, it's just not gonna work sometimes. But I feel like, you know, this could be like a song about maybe how they felt about each other at one point. You know, it's a stretch, but you know, it's what I feel. You know, I just feel like, you know, it's not a coincidence that they had those problems and then they make a song like this, and that's the meaning behind it.
Sure.
Come on,
I can understand that.
I mean, it is not a natural thing, but like, you know, or a common thing that people, you know, have disagreements. But you know, I just feel like maybe there's a little bit more to the song than maybe what he originally said. Yeah, exactly. So they put in a song, so it's like, oh, here it is.
That would
it's
be
in code.
That would be quite the scenario if that like was somewhat true.
Yeah,
it's like, wow, that is so deeply.
And I feel like a lot of bands do that. Like they'll make a song. It's
they
about
say
the
it's
band,
about something, but
they'll make it into a different scenario where you don't think it's about them.
Yeah,
it's
funny.
Context.
It's funny because I've heard Metallica play on Howard Stern before, and like he tries to tell them, he's like, "Are you sure it really wasn't about this?" And they're like, "I never really thought about it like that." You know, it's like these artists, like they kind of know, but you know, sometimes they just don't want to say it.
Yeah,
you know, who knows?
A lot of pride. You know, it's okay.
But I definitely know this song has something to do with consumerism because they talk about this this neon god. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's some sort of like he's saying, like everybody just kind of sticks to the status quo when it comes to that. So I don't really have a large opinion on that part of the song as far as like not like knowing how to communicate. I think it's more than that to me. It's also not wanting to communicate. You know, this almost comes across as a song for introverts, but I do think it applies to everybody. You know, a lot of people don't really have meaningful conversations with people they don't really know. You don't want to meet new people. You don't want to make small talk. You don't want to say how you feel. You don't want to speak up if you see something happening wrong. And I think that's kind of what he's getting at, you know. I think there's a part of us that all wants to be just shut off from society. Like, doesn't everybody kind of want that sometimes in a way, some more than others? You know, we want to keep to ourselves, but we can't lose our ability to communicate, though. We're just not going to succeed. We're going to fail. You know, we can't help ourselves if we don't help each other. Garfunkel, obviously the higher pitch, he sounds more hopeful in the song, right?
Okay, I see where you're going with this. Yep.
Now, Paul Simon, he sounds hopeless. So I think that, you know, that kind of coincides with the meaning.
Yep.
And you talk about a song that's prophetic. I mean, communication is worse than ever today because of technology. They wrote this in the 60s.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they thought there was a problem then. Like, we're losing our social skills now, y'all. So I think this song is just amazingly ahead of its time as well.
Yeah, that's another thing that I thought you was gonna go what I was gonna say, but it also gives you the perspective of, you know, you get the high from Garfunkel and then, you know, the low from Simon. So it gives you two aspects of how you want to hear the song.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, if you hear it as hopeful, like you said,
Yep.
you know, you're gonna hear the more of the high. It's like an illusion.
Yep.
You know, I think that's kind of cool. You know, I think that's kind of cool.
Not a lot of songs have that.
Yeah.
You know, this is in a rare position of like, what is the vibe?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't really say one way or the other. You know, I feel like it's almost in its own category in terms of feel and emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this does get repeat listens from me. I wouldn't say like I go and seek it out a lot, but man, it's just so oddly charming. And I feel like it just gets better over time. It has great anticipation just for being what it is, and it's thought-provoking. It's one of the most thought-provoking songs of all time, and it's done in the most simplistic manner possible. It's certainly, I think, one of the best duets of all time, you know, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's got to be up there. And this song just becomes more true by the day.
Right.
So it deserves to live forever. So, yeah.
I was going to say, it's a tough one. I think I would need a couple more listens to appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because it's my first listen, so it's, you know, I guess not hitting me as hard as maybe it should.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like the vocals. I think that was great. I like the scheme of it. I like the thought process of it.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of things I like about the song.
Yep.
You know, but it's just there's something about the song that like doesn't want me to go back to it, or I don't seek it out. I'm not saying I won't go back to it, but I don't seek it out. Now, if I just heard it playing, I'll be like, oh yeah, I know this. This is a good song. You know, but you know, when it comes to like playlists, you know, I already know how I feel about the playlist. You know, because this would be, if I did add on playlist, it'd be the chill playlist. This would be like chill time.
That's another vibe you can get from it.
Exactly. So. Yeah, for me, I have to get a couple more listens to really appreciate the song. But I thought it was a good song overall, though, for sure. And I would like to hear more, to be honest. There's a lot. I have a feeling they have a lot of good songs.
Yeah, like I said, only 5 albums, but one of the biggest groups of all time.
Yeah, literally.
So they got those other songs. Let us know what they are. Yeah, definitely peanut butter and jelly here.
Okay.
No doubt about it. That's it, guys. Don't forget to drop a like, and as always, please tell us your views.
Stay subscribing and clicking that bell.
Peace out.